Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time it is for you, I'm Cyclone. It's time for our Let's Play Train Simulator Classic. And we're going to go to the second scenario that I'm doing on the Western Lines of Scotland route. The lag issues, by the way, persisted from the last video, even when I was not recording, so I'm going to have to deal with it, unfortunately. I'll talk about that a little more later on if I feel inclined to do so while we're running, because it's going to be a freight scenario. We're not going to be making really any stops unless there's a signal somewhere. So we're just going to go ahead and go about our business here and hope that we don't have too many problems. Now, we are starting on the Carlisle end of the route today. We have not actually, I think it's Carlisle, could be Dumfries, but we are nonetheless on the eastern end of the route is what I'm trying to say. And we are going to be proceeding along the Port Road today. We've seen the Port Road already. This part of the route we have pretty much seen, at least from Dumfries to Dalbeattie. And obviously I showed you on that first version, Castle Douglas area was made, but the station just wasn't in yet on that version. So we have seen this part of the route already, pretty much almost in full. This will be nothing really new, and that's why I wanted to show off the Port Road first, because it leads to this, obviously, as the more extended route. And the Port Road, by the way, I don't think I had any problems really running the Port Road, so we'll see how that part of the route runs on this route as well. I'm curious to see how that works. But nonetheless, let's see what we can do here today. The task today is to be the ice cream man. There's also a milk and cookie scenario somewhere later on, but I think it's actually below these ones. But these three are a series of scenarios, 45, 60, and 60 minutes. So 2 hours and 45 minutes approximately of driving. This is only the first portion of that, and it's less than 1/3 of the total time because it's the shortest of the three scenarios. The other two are both 60. So let's do some shunting, and then we'll get ourselves on our way. Let's get going, shall we? This is Dumfries' shed. Check your route out onto the upline. A complex move is necessary to reach the yard and collect your train of wagons. This train has a speed limit of 55 miles per hour. Good luck. We don't have timing, so I don't think luck is really involved here. I think we just do whatever we need to do whenever we want to do it. Okay, let's get in the cab, and I have to back up. Okay, that's interesting. Already interesting. I love it. So we're going to proceed with our first task, which... No, that's not the first task. If I hop on top of the train, rather, I'm heading over to there. Do I need to change my junctions, or am I good? I am right there. Junction is set. Junction is not set. Now it's set. And that's going to take me... Where do I need to go? Sorry. I need to go right about Dumfries Depot entry. Okay, so I'm not going there yet. Need to find my way over there, which I believe is this. No? No. Oh, that's the exit. Okay, that's fine. What am I doing wrong? Something is not set correctly. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Now I'm heading in the right direction. Let's back up and get ourselves going towards the depot by putting... The reverser is already back in reverse. We're going to go ahead and move backwards now. Thank you. So we are at Dumfries. This is totally within the original Port Road route. I'm actually wondering now whether this scenario was actually made for the original Port Road. If it was, I'm kind of jumping ahead by putting it on this route. But whether it was or not, you can see by the way we have snow on the ground, so it actually feels right that I'm actually driving that now. As I'm recording this, we're actually getting into the winter here, so needless to say, it feels right for me to do these snow scenarios right now. So I'm going to go ahead and hide this because we don't really need to see this right now. We have agreed to move into the depot entry. Scotland! Yes, Scotland. Slightly further here, please. So we have to stop at this location, and that's why I'm going really, really slowly. I probably could go a little faster, but I'm gradually losing speed as I move up, so I kind of have no choice. I just notched the regulator up for a moment to make sure I didn't lose my speed completely so I can at least get to the depot entry. I'm now within the bounds of the depot entry. I'm going to let the train slow down. And eventually come to a stop. I'm actually going to try to get past the signal here. That's probably a good step. There it is. Now we are past the signal, so that means the signal has cleared for our next task. I'm just going to go ahead and get the train stopped now, because it's not stopping on its own. Come on. I put too much regulator on. No. Where are we going next? We're going to be going to Dumfries Platform 3, which is over... Wow. Are we set for that? I don't think so. We'll check in a minute. Meanwhile, I'll put my head out the window so we can get ourselves going here. Now draw forward onto the down line and stop at this end of platform 3. Okay. That signal, as you may recognize, indicates that we are taking a diverging line. So we're going to be taking a line to the left, it looks like. We are indeed cleared into platform 3. I'm going to actually look at the look over here, because you can see we're going to take the line on the left of these two lines. If we head back over here, I think we're going to somewhere see the shed over here. Yeah, the shed's over there where we started, over far on the left. That's kind of where I think we came out. We merged somehow from there, so... Now we're on the main line. We're not going to go all the way up to 3. There's no reason to. I don't think we're going to reach it anyway, even if we tried. Couple little toots of the horn. Why not? So we're going to look on this side, because this is where I think the platform comes in. You can see platform 3 now starting. We're going to get our little engine that could in here. We have the entire platform to stop at, so we don't need to go all the way along the platform. We just need to stop. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Provided the brakes actually work. Perfect. Gonna hold it back because I'm already getting down low enough here. So we're gonna wait for our next task while we listen to the train hissing. Let's look inside. Okay, good. I think we're gonna be reversing. So I'm gonna prep a reverse here. Boy, that hissing is loud in the ears. I feel like you're shouting afterwards. Okay, now reverse to the next marker just beyond the points accessing the yard. Roger. So let's see what comes up here. We're looking for Bullock's Bridge down goods. Well, there's Bullock's Bridge down goods. I think we're all set here. Any signals we need to worry about here? We got a green. We're happy. And because I am reversing, I'm going to try not to go too fast. Look at that mural. Did you see that? What is this? Whiskey made in Scotland. I'm actually going faster than I did on the approach. So much for not going too fast. Now the point for Bullock's Bridge down goods is very small, so we have to hit it and stop right on it, basically. That's what I'm going to try and do here. So I'm going to slow it down just a little bit right now to make sure we don't have too many problems. The Dumfries South shunt limit appears to be further back. I don't know if we're going to be using that right now. Nope, I don't see it. Oh, we do it later. Later we do. That's why it's on the map. Okay. That's why we see it. I'm just going to let the train kind of creep up here. I don't see a reason not to do that. I should be able to make the point to stop now. Maybe even without brakes. Please stop the loco, check that the route is set to good siding 6, and collect the waiting wagons. Don't go too far. Perfect. I think it was a go via task, so we didn't actually have to stop. It was just a go via. Okay, so we're going to be heading next to couple up stuff up there. Excellent. Okay, so we're doing that. Is that where we're aiming on the map right now? We are going over here. We're coupling to these guys. Which means we need to do this. Now we're in the right one. Yeah, that is 6. Everything is set for us to enter that siding, so over to the game again. I'm going to put the reverser forward. Little toot on the regulator so you don't let too much steam in. A little is a lot here. Once the brake comes off anyway, there we go. Poor guy on the bench here as well, just sitting here watching everything. Whoops. Just sitting here. Enjoying his break, apparently. He is levitating. He is levitating, ladies and gentlemen. He is levitating. You can see under him. Well, an attempt was made. An attempt was made. Just realized I shouldn't go too fast here. Please tell me I'm on the right siding. Wait, I need to go to siding 4. Wait a second. Oh, I see what I'm doing wrong. Okay, never mind. I had the wrong task showing. I got it. We're good. No issues. So let's look from on top of the train because that's going to be a much better view of the coupling operation. Here we go. So a tiny bit more reverser because we're going to come a little short here if we don't. Or a little more regulator, sorry. I can't get the word regulator out. Sorry about that. To those who are going to say I'm not being accurate. Yes. So we can see what the information on them says. Wagons 1 to 7. Exactly what it is. Good. Now collect the vans and flats and sign 4. Okay. I will try. Train hadn't come to a stop completely, but I was able to get that last bit off by just going in the other direction. Worked for me. So we're going to finish that. And backing up a little more. We're not going to go too fast once again. 10 should probably be good enough for backing up. To make sure we don't go beyond our point. It doesn't have a stop task, but we don't want to go too far. Even though we don't have a stop task. Once we clear the point, we can flip the switch and we can head into siding number 6. So I think we're about to get there now. I'm going to actually apply a little bit of brakes right now. We're going to see what happens here. I assume the train's going to stop. A little too early, it looks like. No, off. Good, I think I'm good at this point. So we're clear of the point. I'm going to hit that. Now the train can come to a stop while I get the reverse reset. That has been done, and I'm going to move forward again. Now we're going to move back to the, to the front of the train. I guess that's the front since I'm going forwards. Express milk. Express milk. Better than non-express milk, am I right? Putting some brake pressure on slowly here. Yeah, I think we got a good pace here. I'm going to take it off in a second anyway once I get low enough. That will be low enough. I'm going to get the reverse reset right now, so I think we're going to go ahead and back into this no problem. And there it is. So I'm just going to go ahead and flick the throttle on to finish our slowdown in the other direction, and we're going to go where we want to go. Well done. Now the train must be taken back out of the yard to South Side 1, where the loco must be run around the train to readiness for departure. That makes sense. We're heading to the shunt limit now. Notice, by the way, I'm not actually putting the reverser into a position to support maximum speed. There's no reason to go beyond 15, especially because that is our limit in the yard in some places. So I'm not actually going to be moving the reverser to a 30% or anything like that. That's to regulate steam to go faster speeds. We're not going at faster speeds yet. There's our shunt limit. You can see the shunt limit. Actually, south siding is where we want to stop. We're stopping at the south siding, so disregard what I said previously. So I'm going to head back to the front. Sorry, that's the front. Back to the, I guess, the back now. We're just stopping inside of this area somewhere. I'm going to try and get the whole train inside the yellow. So that means I'm going to apply some brakes right now. So heading back to the front of the train, we can see that we are fully within the area. In fact, we could go wherever at this point. We could just stop wherever and we're fine. There's no junctions or anything to worry about. We don't want to, whoopsie. We don't want to go too far though, is what I'm trying to get at. So at this point, I believe we can just go ahead and uncouple the train as soon as we're ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and hit 8 to let the train come forward a little bit without me being attached to it. And once that is done, the stop will be completed. I'm going to unhook the entire batch of stuff that I have on me here. So basically, I'm already highlighting the area where I'm going to unjunction myself. We're going to read, then we're going to unhook. Please uncouple the wagons from your loco and tender. Proceed tender first out of the siding and run around the train via the down goods loop. Move to the shunt limit marker on the up line before returning towards the yard. So we're going to be moving to the shunt limit marker on the up line. And there goes my train. And tender. Real green. Yep, there's our tender. So we... Just to verify that I did it right, because all of a sudden I'm starting to wonder if I unhooked something I shouldn't have unhooked. No, that is wagon 1, so I think we are good. Yeah, that's wagon 1. We're all set. So, going back. I don't know exactly where we're going here. This is where I'm a little more confused. What are we doing here? What is this train doing? Okay, I did not want to stop. Why did I stop? There are no signals. I can keep going. Okay, I think I'm able to use this line now, which means I don't need to start applying any more speed. Actually, I do need to get to the shunt limit, so I'm going to keep going. Not that fast, I'm not. Holy cow. Where's my fastest speed so far, ladies and gentlemen? Please tell me that the other train is not going to collide with me. No, we're stopping. Good. I am clear for this line. I'm happy about that. Why did I stop short of the shunt limit? Okay, I put too much brakes on. Professional driving, ladies and gentlemen. And smoke somehow goes through the road. That is an effect that I would wish didn't exist, because that's not real. But this was made in 2013. I guess we can't really fault that. Now we are going to be able to move forward. Now that we're in the shunt limit, we should see that the path ahead is not set for anything. Oh, now it's set. Okay, it just changed. I thought, I think a moment ago I looked and it wasn't set, but now it is set. So we are able to go forward now after this stop completes. I'm starting to release the brakes, knowing we're going to move in a moment. Run around the wagons via the down goods loop. Roger. Now the question of the day for me, why did we come all the way out here to block this line? We could have just stayed in this little area here, but I guess there's no marker here. So this couldn't be used for anything because there's no marker. So maybe that's why we had to run all the way down. Taking a look at the rest of our tasks, you can see we're going to be heading to Dalbeattie. We know where Dalbeattie is. Our next task is coupling, so you don't have to actually stop or do anything specific at the next marker. We don't have to go all the way to the next marker. But when we do leave, we are going to eventually go and buy the platform again. So the platform we stopped at before, we're going to go through there again, as you can see. It's not something we're doing yet. You can also see that, like the 0.6 of a mile marker on the Dumfries platform, that we also have indications of times at Dumfries South Down Goods Loop and Bullock's Bridge Down Goods. It was by this point that we were getting, or at least Keith did it on these, obviously, that it was by this point that we were getting hidden tasks on scenarios. So the hidden tasks don't show up in the task list. That means that we're not bombarded with unnecessary tasks. Now, a go via task we probably could have gone without, but I think I saw one of those in here, but it doesn't hurt necessarily. Now, do I have a... Okay, I was wondering what was going on. I had a red that just turned green on me. There we go. So apparently there was a train doing stuff up here. I don't know what it was doing, but it was. So at this point we are going to proceed onto this track, and we're going to get ready to back up before we reach Bullock Down Goods. A little more regular, please. So as we pay attention to the back of the train crossing the point, that's what's important right now. We are going to watch for a signal that we want to cross in front of as well. That will also give us some indication of where to stop. Maybe not. I don't see any signals. Okay, we're just going to assume that they are setting the points for us. Dangerous to make that. So yeah, it's set. We don't have to assume anything. It's set. Going to release the brakes immediately because we're going slow enough now. I'm just going to go ahead and do the stupid thing. I will do the stupid. Ah. The stupid has been done. Because we are coupling, I don't want to go too fast. I did give myself a little bit of space, though, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Lovely neighborhood along the railroad tracks here. I have to imagine for some of them it could be fun watching the trains. At least it was back in the day. Nowadays, you know, they're not there anymore. Put a little tutor regulator on to see if I can back up a little quicker here. Brakes, please. Not enough, apparently. Well, a little too. That'll do nicely. Very good. We are now ready to depart. Somebody's going by. Who is that? Ah, the up snowplow. Excellent. As you see, we're called Dumfries to Dalbeattie, even though we're going to be going further in the last scenario. And as he takes off, we're going to get ourselves moving. Leaving the yard. Our go via point next is Dumfries platform, and then we're going to be on our way to Dalbeattie. I don't see any signals coming up immediately. I'm just trying to clear into the distance here. I think that's the yellow. That is a yellow. So I'm not going to try to regulate my speed yet because we have a yellow. I'm going to actually take my speed down, my throttle down, so I'm not using steam unnecessarily here. We don't have to stop here. It is just to go via. We are going to stop, however, at Dalbeattie Platform 1, and then at the goods head shunt. And then we're going to do some other stopping around. We're going to drop off some cars, and we're going to, you know, stop at the head shunt and call it a day. Since the next signal could be red, I'm going to prep some brakes here. So be ready just in case you have a red signal up ahead. Watch your speed as we take the junction onto the Port Road. This should be a clear run to Dalbeattie. Okay. 7:30, it's not busy, I'm surprised. So peering ahead, we're green. I think that was our signal. Yeah, it's our signal. And people on the platform staring at us. Hi. Stray in your lane? Is that what that said? I don't know. I didn't catch it. Probably stray in our lane. And the signal goes red as we pass it. And we're on our way. We'll regulate our speed, our steam now, so we can get a faster speed. We can go up to 30. You can see that we were entering it, that we just entered a 60, but we're going to hit another 30 sign, then we're going to hit a 40 after that. That's because of these junctions that we're on right now. Change to the other window now. We get a nice view of neighborhood to our left. We're now good to go 40, so you notice I haven't adjusted my regulator. We are able to speed up a bit more. I am going to reach 40 before we hit the 60, so I am going to actually take the regulator off a little bit now. I'm going to keep it applied, just not at full power. We're now passing the Carnation Milk Factory. Today, I believe that's a post office, if I remember looking at what I saw on Google correctly. And you can actually see near that on one of the roads a sign indicating the bike path or walking trail that this now is. So what we are on now no longer exists as a train track. You can now go 60, so I'm going to put the regulator back up to full for a moment. So I've applied the running brake. I'm not sure if it really does anything in the game environment, but it is required to have the brake set to running status while you're running, especially if you're not applying speed, I guess. I don't know. I don't know the regulations for steam engines. I wasn't around then. I think they were gone by the time I was on this earth. Heard noise, I just realized my drink bottle went down right next to the microphone. You might have heard me put my drink down. Sorry about that. So we have a 50 coming up. I'm going to go ahead and pull the regulator back and let the train coast. I think this is called Maxwell Town or something like that. Maxwell Town. I'm losing a little too much speed now, so I'm going to actually start to reapply throttle or regulator. I did it again. And that's doing nothing. greens continue. We're going to eventually hit some semaphore signals, but right now they're still color light signals, which are capable of showing a yellow signal on the main aspect. The 50 is coming up, and I'm still not gaining speed. There's a train there, by the way. He's Stranraer Harbor or Dumfries Yard. Maybe he's waiting for us. Oh, we're on an uphill. That would have something to do with why we're slowing down. Okay, let's apply the throttle in full for a moment. Regulator. Swear jar. Need a swear jar. There's our first semaphore signal. There's a better view. Now the next station we're going to see along the way is the Lokenhead Railway Station. That's the next station stop we're going to be seeing on the route. Unfortunately, because of reasons, they're not marked as waypoints in these scenarios necessarily. You can see the rugged mountain landscape that the route runs through. I mean, I can't blame them making this a bike trail. So this would be fun to hang out in and take pictures along. If the routes are already carved out, might as well use it for something, right? They do it in North America too. Where I live is actually a train track style bike trail. And it goes across a good chunk of Ontario to another point where it meets the main line and the line actually takes over again. So back to the left view. We're not really gaining speed at all here. There's a 60 coming up, but I really don't care right now. Look at this. Take a quick view of the train from the viaduct. This no longer exists. It is a shame that this no longer exists. Well, I mean, it does as a bike trail, once again, but it doesn't exist as a train route anymore. That's another train, by the way. You can see that that was the, hold on. Kirkcudbright to Annan Yard. That's who that is. I like that the vehicles on the road have their headlights on. That's a nice thing to see. Meeting all rules and regulations of driving automated machinery. Not sure if I have headlights. Even if I do, I don't know how to use them. That's a problem with steam engines. I don't know if they even have headlights. I can just have to know what's going on. Back in the day of steam engines, you had to have a good intuition. Now, I mentioned in the prior scenario that I had some lag on the IR line. You probably saw very heavily in some places as well. I think it was during the loading of Dunragit and Castle Kennedy, I think it was. For those two stations, you noticed that it lagged a little bit, and also when I loaded Stranraer account on the way by. I went to reload the stereo like a day later, which is today as I'm recording. And it turns out that it's still a lag trying to load Dunragit. So I realized that maybe the problem is just that some of the stations are going to have that problem. Maybe they won't all have that problem. It depends on the detail of the stations. Again, it's not optimized very well. I am hopeful, again, and I'm trying to get this out within a few months, so if it's changed in the next few months, it's going to be, I'm going to sound stupid saying this if something's already happened, but I'm hopeful that DPG will do something about the lag issues with how the game runs. I mean, it's running on DirectX 9. How old is DirectX 9? Like, there's a DirectX 10, there's DirectX 11, there's DirectX 12. I don't know if there's a 13, but I know it goes at least to 12. I am hopeful that as we pass let's try that again. Lockenhead Railway Station. We're passing Lockenhead. The next station we're going to see is Kiliwan. So I'm hopeful that DPG will make some core improvements and older routes like this will function better. I mean, Cahoon Pass, you can't even go to San Bernardino without a 10-minute lag on medium on my computer. And I have an i5, so it's understandable, but still, having that kind of lag is not something that makes for a fun and good playing experience. So, having more optimized hardware, possibly being able to have multiple cores able to be used so the game can run on one of the alternative cores while computer operations remain unaffected, that means there's more, the game will be able to do stuff. Maybe distant scenery, for example, loading distant scenery can be left to one of the cores. That takes it off the main game, and the distant scenery is loaded in while the train keeps going. You don't even have to worry about the train freezing during that time, or the game freezing, because the loading happens on its own and doesn't affect the actual playing of the game. So if DPG is able to opt to use some of those other cores on the computer, that would be a fantastic way to optimize the game. Now, I want to talk about this scenario a little bit. This set of scenarios uses the, what's it called? I can't remember the exact name of it. The speed limitations, the speed limitation script that we've developed. So if you are going, you're supposed to have a maximum speed you can go at all times. Now, I'm not past that speed yet. I think I can actually go 60, because I haven't been told anything else here. But let me check the briefing, actually. Yeah, it doesn't say. So I think we can go 60, and that's not a problem. But if we were to break 60 and we were to be over 60 for a long period of time, the e-brake would be pulled at us, we'd be pulled to a stop, and the engineer would be harassing us. And at the end of the scenario, if we do not get a full congratulations, I think it actually tells you how many times you screwed up. So, but it had pulled the e-brake so many times. There's also a limit on how many times the e-brake can be pulled. Once they pull it 3 or 4 or 5 times in some cases, then the scenario aborts and you fail the scenario. They basically, you lose your job, is the best way to put that. You're fired on the spot. So we want to make sure we don't lose our jobs today. I see another train coming, I think. Or am I imagining it? I swear I see a light in the distance. Is that the station? Oh, it is a station. That's what I'm seeing. Okay. This is Kiliwan. We're 6 miles away from Dalbeattie. I'll just check the map and confirm that indeed I am where I think I am. We have a 50 coming up, so I'm going to watch the regulator for a moment here. But let's just check where we are. That is not where I want to be right now. Did I say that was Kiliwan? Yep, that was Kiliwan. So I actually did remember my location correctly, thank goodness. That means that we're next going to see Kirkgunsian. Kirkgunsian Station. After that, we will see Southwick, and then we're going to arrive at Dalbeattie. We're currently less than 5 3/4 miles from Dalbeattie, so these stations are fairly close together, maybe a couple miles apart. So Kirkgunsian. So I'm zeroing the regulator now to see if I can let the speed decline on its own without a brake. I don't think there was an exact science for running steam engines like there are for regular diesel and electric trains. I don't think there's a science to these. Just, well, let me rephrase that. There's a different science to running these. Because you have to make sure you maintain boiler or water pressure at all times. Now, because in a real train you have different people doing that task than the engineer, I'm doing the exact same thing here. I have someone doing the task for me. There are people who do like the challenge of doing both at once. I'm not one of those people. If you wouldn't be able to get away with it on a regular railroad, why should I get away with it here? So we're going down to 50 for the entry into Kirkdungeon, I believe. Once again, giving a little toot to the people as we pass through. Very early in the morning, they're all getting ready for their work train. So we're going to move the regulator back up to a high level. We can once again go 60, but that will change quickly because there's already a 50 coming up again. That'll be for the entry into Southwick Station. We're less than 4 miles from Dalbeattie Platform 1, which is our stop. There is a downhill coming up in the 50s, so I'm going to again watch my speed, but this time I might have to use some brakes. This is where that perfect run could be ruined. Now if we're on the, what looks like a 1 in 150 gradient right now. And I'm not losing a lot of speed here, so far I'm happy with my decision here. Total be a clear run. It is indeed looking like a clear run, so we are doing okay for this right now. 7:46 is the current time on the clock on the left bottom left of the screen here. I might need to apply a slight brake as I come into Southwick. You see that after we get into 60, there's also another 50 up there as well, so it looks like we're going to be getting slowed down before Dalbeattie as well. Let's put that tiny little level of brake on right now, just to make sure we get it down in time. So that's how you do it. Let's change the look over here. So this should be Southwick Station. Now we're on the final stretch into Dalbeattie. With the arrival of Dalbeattie, we've traveled the bulk of the Fort Road, excluding the Castle Douglas section. There was a little bit of delay that we saw previously in the other scenario. So Dalbeattie has a little bit of detail, it looks like. That's alright, that's fantastic. Again, if they can get the other cores to do the scenery loading, that would probably be a good way to split up the operations in the game. I think that would benefit the game very nicely. So we'll see if they can ever do that. There is a 40 coming up, going to apply some brakes again. We're going to have to be under 40 by that spot anyway, because that's getting close to the station, so we're definitely going to want to bring the speed down by then anyway, even if it was not a 40 by rule. We want to get the speed down for stopping regions. So we're going to go ahead and get the speed down to 40 gradually right now. I might be a little early, but since I have to be lower by that point anyway, I'm fine. We're 3/4 of a mile away from Dalbeattie now. You see the Dalbeattie gets headshot, and we're going to be using that after we stop. We're now on flat ground, so the brakes are going to kick in a little stronger here. You can see a neighborhood in Dalbeattie over there. Looks like a turnaround road there. And once again, we're going to get to the other side of the train. We're within a couple tenths of a mile now. A little stronger on the brakes now. I should be stopping here. Why am I not stopping? I'm going to fail, aren't I? Well, that technically counts as spatting. That counts as a spad. I was not expecting a red signal there. I didn't notice a distance signal telling me that I needed to stop. It's very easy to spad back in the day, whereas nowadays you get a yellow signal very, very clearly warning you don't go past the next signal. But it's very easy to miss those distance signals because you couldn't see them very well in some cases. Prepare to diverge off the main line to enter the goods siding. Check the manual pointer set to access the head shunt. Then proceed when the diverging signal clears. So, can I back up a little bit? Maybe not. Let me get in front of the signal to make sure it's clear before I set the points. There's the signal. So I'm going to just inch forward a wee bit to make sure the path ahead is visible on the HUD. Well, I'm going the wrong way. Stop. Yeah, I think that would count as a spat. I will go to the results screen just to show you that if that is the case. But yeah, I do believe that is a spat. And I'm not doing the setting on this very well at all. No, stop now. We don't need to go forward again too much. Stop right there. Stop right there. Please don't spat again. Thank you. That'll do nicely. Now we'll check the points. So where are we going? We're going to the head shunt, which I kind of expected. The head shunt. Ah, that's why we have to wait, because there's a train right there that we're waiting for. Got it. So the path is not clear for us. We're being... Oh, we are being sent into that head shunt. Is that all we had to do? Oh, that's why it was a red signal, because the it's telling us that we don't have clearance to proceed on this junction. But as soon as we do this, you notice the signal turns green there. That's what we had to do. So if we had done that previously, we could have actually been cleared in if we did it before we came to a stop. So theoretically, we should be doing it when we arrive anyway. We shouldn't be doing it while we're still driving up. Unless we could radio ahead the guy at the station to say set this for us, in which case he would set it for us. So we have a spad that wouldn't have otherwise happened had I already set the points. But the reason we were getting the red is because the track was not clear for us to proceed beyond that signal. So it was more of a case of the signal recognizing the condition of the track, and that's why we had the red. It wasn't a generic permission denied. It was a movement error on our part, which, because I hadn't set the junction before coming to a stop, past the signal. That signal could have been green when I left Dumfries if I'd set that point. We're stopping at the head shunt. I think the main thing is to get the entire train into siding, so as long as the whole train is over, we can probably come to a stop at that point. So you can see I'm watching the back of the train now. Not really caring too much what the front of the train is doing. It is in the head shunt. We are going to get far enough past the point, a little bit further so we can get a signal back here as well. Now that we're fully past the signal, it went down. I would like to come to a stop, please. Excellent. So we're probably going to have to check some points here again, because you can see we're going to be stopping at the good siding one, dropping off everything, and then heading back to the head shunt where we are right now. That'll be where we end this scenario. So we're going to wait for the instruction. Yeah, we have to make sure that things are set back to good siding one. I should have read the rest of that, but I didn't. So where are we? We're right here. So we're going to good siding one. That's not it. That is. So we want to make sure that is set, and that means that needs to be done, and that needs to be done, and that is complete. So now the main line is clear for any trains again. Well, now that we're locked in here, the main line is good to go on where we just left. So we're going to back up a wee bit. That other train there is not moving. I guess it's going to be a static train, the Castle Douglas to Dumfries train. Maybe it takes off while we're working. I don't remember. I might have penned some text to say when that train is supposed to go. So we can go up to 10. Do we want to go up to 10? Not really. Audio being on a bridge is what we're hearing now. Now we might be able to stop the entire train right here and just unhook everything, but I remember from the first scenario I ever showed on this channel, which was a shunting scenario on a Falmouth Bridge, I remember that it didn't like one or two of the cars not being in the yard, so I'm just going to push the whole darn thing back, and that should be good enough, I would hope. So we're going to be making our stop at Dalbeattie good side. We have to make this full stop. Check the back of the train and see how far away we are from the buffer, shall we? That is close. I pushed that one very, very close. It didn't look like it on the HUD, but man, I pushed that one close. Actually, no, you know what? I'm in the shed. I'm actually okay because I'm in the shed. So there's no problem with this. I'm not that close at all. Yeah, I have lots of room. I have lots of room. What am I talking about? Please uncouple the wagons. So back to the front of the train. We're going to uncouple. Which I believe includes this guy. There it is. So 15 is going to be one of the wagons we drop off. So yes, everything is uncoupled. You can see we're going to get our check mark as soon as I get it to click. That is done. Now we're just going to head back up to the siding, and that's the end of that. So forward. Since we're now a free locomotive, we're not going to do too much in terms of movement right now. We're just going to go ahead and put a little power on. We don't want to blow past 10 miles per hour. We have a perfect run going. Let's see what a full congratulations looks like, shall we? Does that train ever take off? Oh, it's still there. We're going to make our way up to 9. That's probably good enough. Because I'm all prim and proper, I'm going to pull all the way up to the buffer. Or should I say to the rock formation? There we go. Let's look at the train as we finish. There goes the train leaving, too. So I'd say if we come to a stop as the final train, the scenario takes off, we're probably doing things at about the right timing. So that, I'm going to say we did that successfully. I'm happy about that. We arrived while that train wasn't moving, and I guess we weren't expected to be here yet. So we made it. Fantastic job. I look forward to my next ride with you. That would be considered a full congratulations. He did not catch any speeding errors or anything of the like, and he's very happy that he had a chance to drive with me because I'm a good driver. Yay! Let's just see if that SPAD showed up on the results screen. I'm going to pop ahead and take a look here. So I tend not to look at the targets complete section. If we have everything done correctly, that's going to be full score every time. So all 60 railway vehicles and such. You can see that we did get some passenger and freight comfort level excessive, and apparently I'm not supposed to blow the horn at 7 o'clock in the morning. Why? Why is that improper? Explain. We're supposed to blow our horn periodically. What if I was coming to a level crossing and it said whistle? I have to whistle. In any case, signal pass at danger once does show up. So that did show up as a SPAD. Like I said, if I had actually set the junction before coming to that point, and if I'd realized I had to stop there before moving forward, I would have not had that problem. I wouldn't have had that problem. So it's just a case of not knowing what to expect up ahead. As soon as I saw the both arms were down, I just jumped right on that brake and I had it up. But I wasn't able to bring the train to a stop quickly enough. I only went about maybe a couple, not even a tenth of a mile past, maybe a couple tenths of a mile past. And I backed it up so I'd be able to see the signal properly when I actually needed it. But that would still be something that would go against you that you did pass the signal, even if it is only by an inch. They'll still say you passed the signal, and that can be a very bad thing if you even pass it by an inch. Even if you can still see the signal, it's only the head of the train that's passed it. You are technically past it. So they don't like that. Don't do that in real life if you're a train driver. You have to make sure you stay within the signal boundaries, obviously. Maybe in that case it would have been forgiven because it was so close, and it could have just been a case of operational error on bringing the train to a stop properly. So that might have been forgiven in that case, but I don't know. Wasn't around during Steam days. I can't tell you if that would have been forgiven or not. Nowadays, because everything is runs so much better, they wouldn't forgive that at all. If you pass a signal in an electric train that has very good stopping abilities, you have a serious problem because you avoided reading something at some point. So, and technically I should have seen the distance signal. I should have brought you a stop anyway. In any case, part 2 of this series will be next time. We're going to continue from Dalbeattie. We're going to pick up another train, I guess, or the same train. And we're going to go ahead and take that train, I believe, to... where is it we're going on that one? Newtown? We'll see next time. I don't know. I don't remember what it's called because I don't know that part of the Port Road yet. But we'll see it next time. So stay tuned for that next time. I will see you then. My name, again, is Cyclone. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next time. The next video, if you're on my playlist. And by the way, have a wonderful day, evening, good night, whatever it is for you. The next video on my playlist will start in 3, 2, 1.